Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video, we're going to go through the Forex market wrap. We're going to highlight what happened in the markets this week and some key charts that we focused on over the past week or so, and some key levels that have been hit. So first of all, let's start off with the news that was out this week. Not loads in terms of data, but we talked about the core retail sales out of the US and talked about the sort of CPI data out of pound and Canada. Out of the UK and Canada. Now, in the US, we talked about the fact that these numbers should be pretty strong for retail sales, simply because the inflation in the US is rising. That means the costs of goods and services are rising, which will then filter into retail sales. Retail sales are usually bullish this time of year anyway, coming into the Christmas period. So there was no real shock here, apart from the fact that it jumped quite significantly. So we did get a revision on the core retail sales to 0.7%. The forecast was 1%, but we had some strong numbers out of actual data, which was 1.7%. So that is quite a significant number, and obviously the dollar has remained strong as we were talking about going into this week. The pound CPI data came in quite good. This is also something that we looked at. We touched upon the fact that pound could actually have a sort of bullish end to the week, and against most weaker currencies it's actually performed quite well. It performed quite well earlier in the week against the yen. It's performed quite well against the likes of the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So against those weaker currencies, it's done really well. Even euro pound prices has fallen quite a bit, so you can check that out obviously as well in your own time. But looking at the markets that were sort of in focus for us, we talked about the dollar index. We talked about the fact that this trend could continue to the upside this week, despite price kind of breaking out and hitting a level of resistance around about the $96 level. Price has broken through and continued to rally up. We're still around that sort of $96 where we're kind of finishing in the market this week. However, we could still see some strong data going into next week, and could see some strong markets continuing, because the dollar data at the moment is significantly good. That retail sales number was very good, and we also have a sort of risk-off sentiment in the market as well, where we've seen stocks drop, and we know the dollar can be used as a safe haven, and the dollar and the yen have outperformed, especially towards the end of the week. So that's quite interesting to see. So dollar's looking strong. If we go into pound, so this, what we talked about on pound was basically the fact that we could see it start to bottom out here and potentially kind of see some upside. What we've got here really is two strong currencies battling against each other now. Obviously, inflation rose in the UK, which was a positive for the Bank of England, and what we've done is just move sideways on the 4-hour time frame, or for the week, just because dollars remained strong as well. I do think if the dollar was to start finding a little bit of resistance and started to pull back after seeing such significant gains, pound would be one currency that I think would really benefit from that. Going on to Aussie yen then, so we featured Aussie yen for short opportunities this week. What we were talking about was the fact that we were in this strong uptrend. However, the strength meter was telling us to look for short positions, simply because the yen was starting to get stronger, and that's what we've seen. We've seen that follow through now. We talked about the potential to trade the retest of this structure low through here, and the market retested and dropped to the downside. So hopefully you looked at Aussie yen this week for some further downside activity, simply because the strength meter from the week ahead analysis was suggesting we should go short. And we also featured it in a video earlier this week as well. So a couple of occasions where we talked about Aussie yen downside. Aussie's really weak at the moment. Really speaking as well, it could continue to get weaker. Unemployment went up. There's lots going sort of wrong for the Australian economy at the moment. So we could see this momentum continue here. Yen's getting stronger. Could see some further downside. And then finally, we're going to talk about oil, simply because we mentioned this last week. We talked about potential short opportunities up in here. Reason being is the market was making lower highs and lower lows. We also talked about the fact that we were in this strong weekly uptrend. Now price is back at a major swing point. Are we going to start seeing buyers step back in now for oil? That's what we're going to be looking at next week. Maybe we can get some kind of inverse head and shoulders pattern, or something through here which suggests that we could start buying the market again. But what we're going to wait for is some weekly price action. That will be the telltale of what's going to happen here for oil. But it looks like the market could continue this overall bullish trend. We need to wait for some more evidence before that actually happens, but there could be some bullish oil going into the end of the year. So I hope you enjoyed the videos this week. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please leave this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more of our trading content, and I will speak to you in the week ahead analysis.